Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapyat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Asmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Twameva Mata Chapita Twameva Twameva bandhuscha sakha Twameva Twameva vedya dravinam Twameva Twameva sarvam mama deva deva Twameva sarvam mama deva deva. Jai Guru. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavamai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So where are we in our text?
Chapter 18, number 100.
Chapter 18, number 100. And Deepa, you have the text there?
Yes, I do. Chapter 18.
Is that getting too breezy on you folks?
I'm fine. Are you okay? Fine?
Okay.
Almost there, just a second. Okay. Nadhavati janakirnam naranyamupashantadhihi tatha yatha tatha yatra tatra sama evavatishthate. The serene-minded master seeks neither the crowded place nor the solitude of the forest. He remains the same under any condition, in any place.
So again, we go through a process. First, then. First, as Lord Krishna says in Gita, attain to yoga rudha. Ashwarudha is to mount a horse. Ashwa's a horse. So when anybody here ever gone horseback riding?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you've got a horse that's not super well trained and doesn't really want you on its back, you have the reins and you put, in the old timey days, you always got on the left side of the horse. I don't know why. Put your left hand on the pommel and put your left foot in the stirrup, and then you swing your right leg around and you're in the saddle. But if the horse is undisciplined, you put your left hand on the pommel, that's the horn in the front, left foot in the stirrup, and then the horse starts to move. Any of you ever had that happen? You're going hop, 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 hop. Because the horse is not trained. The horse, you have no control over it. But once you mount the horse, You've got the reins collected, you've got your spurs if you're wearing them, a crop maybe, and you are in control of this beast, and especially if it's a high-spirited animal. So the horse here is a metaphor for the mind. And if the mind is undisciplined, it is difficult to mount the steed of the mind. So we have to first of all attain to yoga arudha, mount the steed of the mind. So all our various disciplinary practices are to be able to cease to be tyrannized by the indulgent tendency of the mind. Scriptures will say, raga, I must have it this way. Gimme, 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 gimme. Dvesha, aversion. Never, 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 never. So we watch the heart. That's like a light on your dashboard. They don't have full instrumentation in cars anymore. It's very weird. The old-timey days, you had an oil gauge, a temperature gauge, all that sort of stuff. They don't do that anymore. You've got a check engine light. Isn't that right?
Right.
You have no idea what's wrong with your damn car. Just the light goes on. Then you take it to the dealer, the mechanic, and they put all the electrodes in to figure out what's the matter with your car. Well, we have a check engine light. It is a spiritual axiom that if I am disturbed, no matter the cause, I'm the one with the klesha, the defilement, the disturbance, the attachment, the identification. It's axiomatic. Now, listen carefully. This does not mean that the world and its people aren't oftentimes quite wrong. But if I'm disturbed about it, I have the klesha, the dosha, the defect. So to attain to yoga arudha, as these reactions in the mind come up, we just watch them. Ego says, I'm upset because there's something wrong with the world. And I'll do one of two things. I either bring out my bouquet of flowers, be nice. And if that doesn't work, I bring out the baseball bat. And when the baseball bat doesn't work, I try the flowers again. But it's always some attempt to play whack-a-mole with the world. And it never solves the problems of me getting upset. We cannot avoid things. Now, in the 12-step traditions, we've got a slogan called a geographic. Who's heard that term before? Someone lives in Los Angeles and they're drinking and using, and all their friends desert them. They get fired from their job and they get evicted from their apartment. It's just LA. I'll move to New York, start all over. They move to New York, and in time, the same thing happens. I'll go to Germany. That'll fix it. And that never fixes it. Why? Because wherever you go, there your mind is. The problem is never outside. Now, that doesn't mean that we're a doormat in the world. But if something in the world needs to be addressed, we can do it from a place of peace of mind. Skillful means, Gita says, yoga is skill in action. So we have to master that inner 2-year-old, that tyrant dimension of the mind. Until we have this samadrishta, this equality of vision. The yogi's mind is the same in heat and cold, the various pairs of opposites of the physical world. Pleasure and suffering, sukham dukham cha, my emotional reactions. We begin to see how mechanical it is. When the situation is conducive, the mind is happy. When the situation is non-conducive, the mind is unhappy. It's all based on habit, the force of the past. You got a little card file in your mind. Pleasant things, unpleasant things. It's all it is. It has nothing to do with truth or reality. It's just habit. We don't have to be tyrannized by it. And then honor and dishonor. Am I okay? What do they think of me? That kind of stuff. So we have to deal with all of that first. Then we have freedom. You can be in a crowd. You can be solitary. You can be working in the world. You can be at a time in your life where you have a lot of space. The yogi learns that their happiness is not dependent on external circumstances. Well, what am I supposed to do with my life? Don't worry about it. You will be impelled into action at the level of the body by the force of the past. You're going to do what you're going to do. Let the body play its part in the cosmic drama. Any thoughts on this? All right, next verse.
Jim, that's the end of the chapter.
We can go home now. Do we have another chapter?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, let's go on then.
Okay. Sorry, I lost my page again.
'19th chapter.
Yeah, it's called The Grandeur of the Self.
That'll work.
Janaka Uvacha Tattva Vigyana Sandamsha Madaya Hridayodarat Nana Vidha Paramarsha Shalyodhara Krito Maya. Janaka said, using the pincers of knowledge of truth, from the innermost recesses of my heart, I have extracted the thorn of adverse opinions.
Oh, what a very interesting viewpoint. It's as if in my heart there's a thorn. And I need some tweezers to pull out the thorn that's in my heart. Which is, I like this, I don't like that, it has to be this way, it can't be that way. How can you say that to me? Don't you know who I am? World is gloom and doom. They're doing it wrong. These people are doing it right. I'm not getting what I'm entitled to. Those are thorns in my heart. And here Janaka says, using the tweezers of right knowledge. What is right knowledge? I have answered 3 questions. First, who am I? I'm not the body, not the prana, I'm not the mind and its feelings and judgments. I'm not the intellect with its thoughts and memories. Who am I? Chidakash, the space of pure awareness. What is this world? Question 2. And we have to reconcile these 2 scriptural statements. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman, consciousness alone is real. Jagat, we call it the phenomenal world of Jagat because it goes Jagat, 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 Jagat. Is Mithya, illusory. It's like a big hologram. The other scriptural statement, my favorite one from Chandogya, many of you have heard it. Sarvam kalvidam dhamma. Sarvamidam, all this. Shop talk for the phenomenal world. Kalu, verily, is Brahman. It's seen, but it's not what I think it is. Just like I see the train tracks at the BART station meet in the distance. Don't get on the train, it's going to crash. No, that's an optical illusion. Seen but not real. The clouds passing in front of the moon. When the wind blows them and it looks like the moon is running. Seen but not real. The rainbow in the sky. I can't get in the car and go find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Seen, but not real. So what's really here is God. Pure consciousness. Satchitananda. The names and forms are seen, but not real. Well, how'd they get here? Question number 3. Sankalpena. Sankalpa means imagination. Sankalpena is instrumental case, grammatically. By means of imagination. Whose imagination? Very good question. Ishvara, the infinite, is imagining this cosmos. But you and I participate in it, as it were, as co-creators to a limited degree. So, to a large degree, my opinions, my judgments, my imagination determine the value of the world I see. One person looks out at the world and says, gloom and doom, we're all destroyed. Oh, we're living in a fascist state. Ah! But the yogi looks out and says, I live and move and have my being in law. I don't live in your world. I live in a real world. So these are the tweezers that extract the thorns that hurt my heart so badly. Such a vivid metaphor, because you can physically feel it when you're hurt or upset or mourning. We even have it in the language, a heartache. Beautiful, beautiful language. Any thoughts on this? All right, next verse.
Kwa dharma, kwa cha va kama, kwa chartha, kwa vivekita, kwa dvaitam, kwa cha va dvaitvam, swamahimni sitasya me. Where is piety, where is desire? Where is wealth? Where indeed is conscience? Where is duality, and where again is non-duality? For me, who abides in my own grandeur.
Yes. Qua. What's interesting, this KW sound, all the interrogatives in Sanskrit have that. In English, we have the same setup. It's the WH ones. Who, what, when, where, why. Funny how languages work that way. Anyway, the whole idea here is it is a person who's concerned about these issues. Am I pious? Am I righteous? Am I good? Am I bad? Am I doing it right? Am I almost enlightened? Who is worried about that? Oh, the self. So the thunderous message of this text, remember, this is a capstone text. Don't try to be an enlightened person. There's no such thing. Other people can have all sorts of weird ideas, but you know you're not a person. Now, again, in the early stages of our practice, when the mind is still thick and egoism is still firm, what we do is we sublimate all our various ego identities into that of a yogi, that of the mumukshu. Oh, what I really want to do is be a PhD. Well, okay, but sublimate your identity into I'm a yogi, one who's aspiring for union, aspiring for liberation. I'm a husband, I'm a wife, I'm a slut, I'm pure. All those ideas. No, I'm a yogi. A mumukshu, as mumukshutva, the burning desire for liberation. But the ego never gets there. What the practice does is remove that person. Two kinds of people in the world: the fools who think they're a person, including those who think I'm a realized person. I have an awakened state of mind. Come touch my feet and give me your money. And those who know no personal sense of self is real. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. Chidananda Rupaham. My form is bliss consciousness. Big difference. Next verse.
Kva bhutam kva bhavishvatva vartamanamapi kva va kva desha kva cha va nityam swamahimni sthitasya me. Where is the past? Where is the future? Where even is the present? Where is space? Where even is eternity for me who is able to abide in my own grandeur?
So time and space, past, present, and future are all just creations of the mind. This becomes easy to understand again if you go to the dream. In the dream, your individual mind creates time and space. If you're driving a car through the mountains in your dream, you've created the space for the mountain to exist. And the car moves through time. And there's elements. The mountain's made of dirt, the car's made of metal. But all of it is just sankalpa, imagination. This is no different. What is real? What is outside that imaginary world? Aham. You do not know yourself the way phenomena is known. All phenomena, without exception, is known with a triple factor: knower, knowing, and known. But how do you know you are you? There is no triple factor. You are the knower. You are your own means of knowledge. You are that which is known, but not as an object. Yet you're not unknown. When are you ever not you? Nobody doubts that they are. And that's a knowledge that's outside of the imaginations of the mind. Going on.
क्वचात्मा क्वच वानात्मा क्वशुभं तथा क्वचिन्ता क्वच वाचिन्ता स्वमहिम्नि स्थितस्य मे. Where is the self? Where is the not self? Where, similarly, are good and evil? Where is anxiety or non-anxiety for me, who abide in my own grandeur?
Yes. So I do not do discrimination. Again, discrimination between the self and the not self is a useful tool if we are identified with the body. But for the stita prajna, the person of steady wisdom, it is like for us ordinary people, your knowledge that your body is a human body. You don't wake up in the morning like the character in the Kafka short story, wondering whether you're a cockroach or a goat or a cow or a horse or a pig. You don't have to run to the full-length mirror to assure yourself that you're still human. You don't even have to think about it. You just know it. So also for the person of wisdom. When are you ever not you? When you clearly understand who and what you are. And then you think, how could I have missed it? It's the most obvious thing in the world. It's always here. It's always me. And it never, ever changes. Don't believe me? Look. The worst of tragedies only touches the equipment. The greatest of joys only touches the equipment. And those are dreamlike and temporary. They always pass. But you go nowhere. The whole movie of the world passes in front of you, as it were. Now, once you begin to get deep experience for yourself, I've had students who then go and on meditation retreats, which I think are wonderful. I highly recommend them. But then I will frequently ask the question, do you know more self? No, Jim. You either see it or you don't. What you may have achieved is a more quiet mind, a thinner mind, which may or may not be temporary. But the mark of the person of steady wisdom, the Jivan Mukta, the person who is liberated while alive, is they know they are Brahman and they do not believe their mind and they do not believe in any personal sense of self. It's a direct experience. It's simple in the end. Any thoughts?
Uh,
Yes, sir.
Oh,
exactly, but you state, I mean, you state all or nothing on the self. When you're talking here. And there's a sense of that, there's a deep experience of there isn't a self. But
I mean, there's no
That's-
personal self.
a personal self. But still there's still a subtle sense there. That seems like I have to, there's a sense of that, there's a vigilance to know that's not true when it's showing up. And
And you can get rid of that if you wish.
by just
Knowing it's bullshit.
well, it is bullshit, but it's still there.
So quit paying attention to it.
Okay.
That's another stupid mind state. That's all it is. But for some of it, it's a very deep habit if we've been doing sadhana for lifetimes. I don't want to let go of the sadhu, I'm still striving hard for liberation, there must be something more. And then some of us who have been, wild and crazy hippies in our youth, what we really want to do is get high. It's not a mind state, it's knowledge. Now, there's nothing wrong with wackadoodle mind states. So the person of steady wisdom may be seen to be doing spiritual practices. Listen carefully. It does not add to their knowledge of the self. It's just the highest form of worldly pleasure. Meditating for 2 hours is juicy, much more so than a carton of ice cream. And it's free, and it won't rot your liver, and we won't put on weight, and it's always available. No downside. So you can choose to continue to revel in the self. I love the term that the last text we did, the Panchadashi. Towards the end, Vidyaranya used the term Brahmananda Rasa Swad. Swad means to taste. Rasa's juice. So tasting the juice of the bliss of Brahman. Why not? And there's no end to how deeply the mind can revel in the self.
Yeah.
That's like trying to count to the highest number.
So you're seeing, clear seeing when you saw no self, it was it. It dropped and there was clarity.
I wouldn't, whatever I would say to you, you have no idea whether I'm bullshitting.
Well, I know.
So asking
I got-
me about this one's mind states is not
Right.
fruitful.
Right. No, I got it.
So the mark of the person of steady wisdom is that it swallows all doubt.
Mm-hmm.
It swallows all doubt.
I got it.
And we don't cover it in this text, but many scriptures talk about 3 different levels of jnanis, people of wisdom. The third class are those with a tenuous mind. They know the self, but the ignorance is so powerful, the sense of agency is so strong that at times they re-identify and they think they're a person, and at those times they suffer just like anybody else. And then they come to and did I get identified and triggered? We say technically they're not Jivan Mukta. They may or may not be able to burn that out. That's karmic.
Mhm.
Then there are those people who have had a lot of desire in this lifetime, and they've done incredible austerities, and they have essentially burnt out their minds. Those are they that are fond of samadhi. And then the highest class of jnanis is they see the fundamental unreality of the mind. So they can, on the inside, always empty, empty. But on the outer are able to engage in the world, some with enormous activity and facility. And Swamiji was a great example of that. Now, other scriptures have a little bit different paradigm, like Yoga Vasishtha. The more you revel in the self, the less of the world you see. And for them, the highest state are beings like Anandamayi Ma. I mean, she hardly saw the world. She couldn't even feed herself at times. But these are, as it were, post-enlightenment samadhis. And they're not to be gained by mere will or effort. In fact, if you're struggling to get into some state, you're not even a jnani yet. The mark of the jnani is they've given up struggling. There's enormous paradox. Is that useful, Stephen?
Yeah, very clear.
And this is not just Jim's opinion. You will find this in Yoga Vasishtha. You will find this in Tripura Rahasya. You will find it in the teaching of Bhagawan Rama Maharshi. All right. Next one. Before we go on. So if you have doubts, keep doing tapas. There's nothing to be lost by it.
Yeah.
It's that simple,
Yeah, it is simple.
you know. And some of us enjoy tapas.
Your point is very clear.
Yeah.
Very obvious.
I'm doing tapas. I have strings on my dhoti here, which I'm going to deal with.
Instead of knots in your heart, you get strings in your dhoti.
If they don't do the edges. Now what have I done?
Get scissors. Get scissors.
Okay. Next verse.
Kwa swapna, kwa sushuptirva, kwa cha jagaranam tatha, kwa turiyam bhayam vapi, swamahimni sitasya me. Where is the dream? Where is deep sleep? Where is wakefulness? And also, where is the fourth state of consciousness? Where is even fear for me, who abide in my own grandeur?
Yes. So this is a reference to Mandukya Upanishad, where we have the very famous exegesis of the Maha Mantra, the Pranava, Om. Om, the word is all this. That which is beyond all this is also verily Om. Om is divided into Chatushpada, literally 4 feet, 4 parts. Doesn't mean Om has 4 feet like the legs of a cow. Stands for the waking state. U stands for the dream state. Ma stands for the deep sleep state. And the Turiya, the fourth matra, is silent. Which stands for the sound. Some people interpret Turiya to mean the fourth plane of consciousness, some supermind state. But that's not how actually it's talked about in Mandukya Upanishad. The Turiya, the fourth, is the awareness in which the three mind states occur. It is the fourth in our series of discussion, but it's not a fourth plane or state or mind state. I want to reach the fourth plane. No, you're already it. You are Turiya. Now, all of that is just ideas, which means it occurs in mind. Now forget it. In Bhagavad Gita, again in the second chapter, Krishna says, he who knows it not. She who knows it not knows it. Stop the mind. Unknown the mind. Let go of all ideas. And in the seventh mantra, the Rishi says it's avyapadesham. Upadesha means to describe or to talk about something. Avyapadesha means untalk about. Next verse.
Kwa mrityurjivitam va kwa loka kwasya kwa laukikam kwa laya kwa smamadhirva swamahimni sitasya me. Where is life or where is death? Where are the worlds or where are the worldly relations? Where is dissolution of consciousness? Where is samadhi for me, who in my own grandeur abide?
Yes. So again, the Raja yogis, even the Jnana yogis, exalt samadhi. Samadhi is of great value. The mind state of no mind. For some reason, for most people, the mind will not let go of subtle ego identity until it enters into samadhi. What keeps the mind from entering into samadhi? Vasana, attachment. Have to let it all go. everything. And then when the mind thunders to a stop, personal sense of self is gone. And then when the mind returns, it is conditioned by that. It has what the scriptures call pratyabhijnanam, recognition. The aha. Oh my gosh. I get it. It's myself. Sometimes ego returns, sometimes it doesn't. And you can't go jonesing for samadhi. The very fact, I want samadhi. Make it keep receding. It's like trying to stomp on the head of your shadow. Why are you running so fast? I'm determined to stomp on the head of my shadow, but it keeps moving away. So, do not strive for samadhi. Endeavor to know who you are. It's a far more useful way. And those of us who study Viveka Chudamani, Shankara goes into the value of samadhi exhaustively. Now, some Vedantins say samadhi is not necessary. Theoretically, that is so. For the A++ students, they just hear the teaching, they get it. But for most people, samadhi is useful. And it's not just to be achieved by trying to will your mind into quiescence. What holds the ego sense in place is vasana.
Can you define Vasana again?
Vasana is an impression left in the unconscious because of previously performed egoistic actions. It has two elements: a veiling power of Varana Shakti, meaning I do not know who I am, and a projecting power. It projects Jiva Bhavana. I think I'm a person, I have a goal, and I have kartavya. I have to make efforts for things. So what we have to do is deal with the root of it, which is spiritual ignorance. As thoughts of a personal self arise, discriminate and detach. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But for the person of steady wisdom, there's no need to be in a whacked out mind state. You may enjoy it. Oftentimes, samadhi will sneak up on you by grace. And be just cruising through your day and off you go. It used to happen to Ramakrishna. People would just say the word God and he'd fall out. Useless fellow. All right, next verse.
Deepa, did we do 6?
No,
Me?
skipped 6, so I'm gonna go back to 6.
6 will do.
Kwa duram kwa samipam va, bahyam kwabhyantaram kwa va, kwa sthulam kwa cha va sukshmam, swamahimni sthitasya me. Where is distance? Where is nearness? Where is outside? Where is inside? Where is the gross and where is the subtle for me, who abide in my own grandeur?
Okay, again. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna originally says, all this is strung on me like gems on a thread. Mani Sutre, what he says. So our bodies are all different, but the self in me is like the self in you, etc., etc., etc. Self is in everybody. But then later on, in the 9th chapter, 7th chapter, now I'm getting confused. He says, well, actually, I am not in them. They are in me. And actually, they're not really in me. The easiest way to understand this again is to go to the dream state. In the dream state, you have a dream body. Question: do you incarnate into a dream? You may go to your local astrologer who says, oh, what your problems are is in your last life. You did yada, 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 yada. Oh, now you have lots of karma to pay back. Anybody have their astrologer or fortune teller say things like that? But the question is, go to the dream state. Do you incarnate into the dream? Are you in the dream, or is the dream body in you? The second is the truth. It feels like I'm in the dream body. It becomes a locus of perception. I'm peeping out at the dream world through the senses of the dream body. And I have a dream ego identified with that dream body. And there's a phenomenal world outside and an interior world of thoughts and feelings inside, just like the waking state. You are not in the dream body is in you. But is it really in you when you wake up in the morning? Remember in the Harry Potter movies where they put the wand by their ear and they take the dreams and they put them in the, but what's the bowl called? I can't remember. Does the dream exist as a thing you can put in the bowl? You take your dream body out, stick it in the drawer of your dresser. Is it really in you? No. Sankalpena. It exists by means of imagination. This is no different. You are not in the body. Your life, your body, your relationships, the world you perceive is in you. And it's not even really in you. As we said earlier, seen, but not real. Sarvamaya, Sarvamananda. It's all Maya. It's all bliss. So the sthita prajna, the person of steady wisdom, has no concern. Listen carefully. Which is more real, a pleasant dream or a nightmare?
And
Neither is real. Oh, I feel so connected to God. I hit all the green lights on the way to class. God's not our errand boy. Why is this happening to me? Am I being punished? Why not? Way out is to know that none of it touches you. Way to heal the mind is to get out of the mind, Swamiji used to say. Have no relationship with this dream-like body. It's like your shadow. You see it. But do you grieve when your shadow falls in the gutter? Do you rejoice when your shadow walks through the rose garden? All right, one more.
Alam trivarga kathaya yogasya kathayaप्यलम् alam vijnana kathaya vishrantasya mamatmani. For me, who repose in the self, talks about the three goals of life are useless, talks about yoga are purposeless, and even talks about direct knowledge are needless.
So the three goals of life, artha, dharma, moksha, they're meaningless. What was the second one?
Talks about yoga are purposeless.
Oh, yes. Should I do Sri Vidya? Should I do Vipassana? Should I do Tantra? Should I do Jnana? It's all meaningless. You're going to do what you're going to do. Your equipment will do what it's going to do. In the end, it's all prarabdha karma. Well, what should I do for my sadhana? Follow your intuition, go where you're fed. And what was the last idea?
Even talks about direct knowledge are needless.
Oh, yes. I find it so funny. And there's one particular student who posts non-dual stuff on Facebook. And then, of course, people get into arguments, flaming back and forth on non-duality. I mean, it's just so funny. It's so funny. But the person of steady wisdom, you be an Upanishad. Don't talk about it. Who you are will speak much louder than anything you say. You move through the world practicing a ministry of presence. There's no greater gift that you can give to the world than abidance in your own self-nature. If somebody wants to know, alas, then it's your duty. You pour out the knowledge to the best of your ability. But don't get identified with the path as a possession. Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche wrote a fantastic book back in the 70s. You may be too young for this, but you might remember it. Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism.
I remember, I didn't read it, I remember.
Actually, it still holds up. It still holds
I think I
up.
read parts of that. I'm aware of it. I like him.
Oh, he's great. He's great. But what he talks about is people for whom the path becomes another ego possession. You know how you can tell when it's a possession? They'll tell you about it.
I think that-
Swamiji used to say, the longer the beard, the greater your mistrust should be. As he stroked his very long beard.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes this stuff, yeah. Go ahead. Talk to yourself.
All right. This is a good place to stop. What verse are we on for next week?
This was also the end of the chapter, Jim. So you start with chapter 20 next week.
Oh, Janaka's very short-winded.
Mhm.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.